Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the St. County Board of Commissioner meeting, November 10th. It's 10 a.m. and we'll open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kirchner's with us via Zoom this morning, so we'll have the formal roll call, please. Then we'll do the prayer.
Okay.
I messed up.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here.
Commissioner Schuff?
Here. Thank you. Prayer, please.
Would please follow me. Dear Lord, please help to guide us and give us your wisdom here as we go to discuss issues facing our community here with finances, property, personnel. Please help us to make the best decisions possible for the betterment of our residents and our county. Always watch out for us and please help us to do right. Amen.
Amen. So with that, I'll accept a motion to approve the digital audio recording of our previous board session from last week, Thursday, November 3rd.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. We'll have Safe Bill will be here at 10:15, 10:15. So we'll also have a budget hearing with the sheriff at 1 o'clock. So we will finish the first part of our meeting, recess, then we'll come back at 1 o'clock for the sheriff and his team, and then we'll adjourn the meeting after that. So we have a special guest here today. Mr. Schuff, you want to handle that? Or Bryce, would you like to just come up and,
Go ahead, Bryce.
and talk?
Awesome.
Is that good?
Sure.
Thanks for coming, and
Thank you, Commissioners.
so is yours.
Bryce and Marissa with the Seneca Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're here we kicked off our Love Local season on November 1, and really, the goal of Love Local is really to help tell the story of our members.
Vanna White.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was
We got the
nervous it was
logo.
upside down for a
I know,
second. I was
exactly.
like, oh no.
So really with the Love Local season, our
It's
job
awesome.
is to, it really stemmed from Small
Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday, which was one day, and really we felt supporting local is extremely important all year round, but especially during the holiday season, and sort of how we help promote our members. And really, for this campaign for us, runs from November 1 to the end of the year, and it's Facebook posts about pictures of our small business owners, it's videos, it's contests, and really we feel like folks are more inclined to support local businesses once they know their story, a little more about them. And so our job is to really help tell their story, and we feel like folks do business with people that they know and they trust, and so that's something we're really working hard on. Every day on social media, we'll probably see 2 to 3 posts. Since we've started it, a couple of videos. We've done a video on Ewald so far, Hawks Crystal. So every week we'll drop a video as well. And so really it's kind of all hands on deck to help and do that. Marissa created a social media toolkit to help our small business owners, help with their social media pages to help be a part of it. And different things along the way. So I don't know if you want to add anything else to it, but
Yeah, the big piece too that we really focus on is helping people understand why. Is that the impact of supporting small businesses, but not just shopping small, but eating locally, employing local people, using local services, ordering from local organizations, whatever it may be. It has economic impact, it has a social impact, and whatever it may be. And so helping people to understand what our community would look like if we didn't have local businesses and we didn't love local. And so helping people understand that why really helps connect the dots between where they're putting their dollars.
the big thing is keep your money where your heart is, and that's the big thing for us. Is that's the personal aspect of it, and a lot of what we do is we always say we have a business relationship with somebody. Well, no, we want to kind of next level. How do you make that a personal relationship? So when you do business, you know where to go, and especially who to support. So.
Comment?
Good work. Keep it up.
Commissioner
I like it.
Kirchner, anything from you? Make sure he's down.
Yes, he's sitting right next to you.
He's sitting right next to you,
Get a
right?
photo with him? Get
For
some-
sure. So we'll if we could get a photo, but we're gonna use part of our social media campaign as well.
We'd
So
love
it's
you.
really
Come up here, we'll get him in the picture.
exactly right. So Jimmy, I don't know if you would come.
Yep,
grab
I'm
it.
on it. Yep.
Yeah, let's put him, Mr. Shuff, you can get beside
There you
him.
go.
Put him in the middle, right
Yeah.
here.
Come pull the chairs out if you
Yeah,
can.
put him in the
we go.
middle.
Here.
Is that a good
Awesome,
one?
awesome.
That works. All
Yeah, I
right.
like it. All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, and good.
Awesome. We appreciate
Cool.
that.
Yep.
The commissioner's gonna do a proclamation.
We'll have a
so-
proclamation for it just to show our support
You're awesome.
Thank you.
for love and local.
Thank you.
So,
We're working on the next coloring book.
are you gonna
then?
shake my
It's
hand?
done.
It's
I
done.
finished
second
it
color,
during,
but you did that.
I finished the first one. It only took 2
Yeah.
full working days to finish
So
all the
we're
pages.
we're working on
Any
it.
comment from you about this?
Yes.
This is phenomenal.
Any- Yeah, okay, good.
Awesome.
We'll get you in a minute here.
Thank you, commissioners. We appreciate it.
That's awesome. You guys keep up the good work. That's pretty neat. So we have time for commissioner reports. We'll sneak that in. Mr. Shuff, you'd like
Sure.
to go?
Yeah, as it's been in the last 2 or 3 reports that we've had here, it's budget time, so we're really digging into that. Tuesday, I got to work for the Board of Elections. Just impressed. Each time that I'm not on the ballot, I go to volunteer to be either a poll worker or rover, but each year things just get smoother and smoother, and I just want to give kudos to our ladies and gentlemen at the Board of Elections. Just each year just runs better than the year before. So thank you to them, and good turnout here this year for the election. Oh, I think, what was it, 52% turnout, which is
Really?
higher than normal.
53, yeah, 52.99.
Boy, it ran smooth. Did
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah, I mean, the whole day, didn't matter the different polling locations we'd go and visit. I mean, they were having record numbers, and there was lines out the door, so I'm glad people were getting out and turning out to vote. Got to attend a really nice chamber event yesterday as well. It was over at the Chandelier. I want to give kudos to the chamber. They had Dr. Kitty Brandell there, who was actually one of my professors over at Terra. She spoke about emotional intelligence, gave like a 1-hour seminar, but very informative, very well attended. What'd you guys have in the crowd? Probably 75, 80 people?
75 to 80 people, yeah.
Good
Very
estimate. Yeah, very nice event, very well put on, so thank you for that. And then tonight, we're gonna be over in Green Springs here to honor the Veteran of the Year. Have an award here for Mr. Greg Cole from Republic, but we're gonna save the proclamation for next week. We don't wanna steal their thunder from the event tonight, but just
We're
wanna.
saving it for tonight.
Yeah, wanted to congratulate him and just all of our veterans, and when you see a veteran tomorrow, just, you know, give them thank you, and tell them that you appreciate their service, because a lot of good things we have in this country is because of them, so. That's all I have.
Thank you. You can take that with you to the dinner?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there with you. Just a few things. I have a calendar issue. Can I bring that up? And, well, Commissioner Kirschner, would you like to say anything?
Sure.
Commissioner report, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I would echo what Commissioner Shump has talked about, the Board of Elections with Jim Malloy. I also would like to congratulate Jimmy. The live stream went very well. He actually started that a couple of elections ago. And I think everybody appreciates the fact that they can get in there and see what's going on. So kudos to them. I understand they're out there as early as they've ever been, which is a positive thing. The second thing related to the elections is obviously the passage of the BMS levy by 65. Is that what it was, or more?
Yes.
Over 65.
Yeah, overwhelming support. I just want to remind everybody that we are standing on the shoulders of a lot of people who have done a lot of work over the last decade to get this done, not the least of which has been volunteers. And I want to offer them my sincere, again, appreciation for the Foundation for all this to happen, and hopefully they continue to work with us. But Commissioner Stacy, Holly, and Shane, and Freddie worked very hard on trying to get this done. There was a plan put together in 2014, I believe, that kind of took us in this direction. It took a long time to run at the current Board of Commissioners. Obviously, happened to be here when that thing got resolved, but just remember that there was a whole lot of work that went into it by previous administration and by previous commissioners. And for those people, I would like to offer my sincere thanks and gratitude for all the hard work. And to the rural citizens of Sunny County, I offer my congratulations. This is a great step forward. And I'm certain that once we get this thing up and rolling and figure out, there's going to be great service and great response time and professional attention on every call. So that's my report.
Nice, thank you. Just on the calendar, if I could jump to the calendar, we will be in Columbus at the County Commissioners Association meeting on December 8th. And Board, welcome to the meeting. We have a annexation agreement with the city of Fostoria. We have a meeting to discuss an extension of the agreement with the city of Fostoria, Jackson, and Hopewell, or Loudon Townships, on the 7th. And the commissioners, the follow-up to that, the commissioners will have to meet and adopt the resolution. And so we want to do that as fast as we can to keep things moving in the timeline, A. So I'm proposing that I know now we will not be here on the 8th of December, that we move our meeting to the 13th of December, and we then do not meet on the 15th. So the commissioners, my proposal to you two would be that we already canceled the 8th meeting, we cancel the 15th meeting, and then we hold a full board meeting on the 13th. And
Okay, Commissioner,
yes, sir.
my only thought there might be, we have done this in the past, and it's always a good thing. We haven't done an offsite meeting for a while. Since we have to be at Fostoria on the 7th anyway for that meeting, could we not have a session in Fostoria on the 7th?
We could. Their meeting's at 6 o'clock at night. So their meeting's at 6 o'clock at night. So we would, and then we plan on leaving for Columbus. You're gonna leave earlier than that,
I
right?
thought we were going on Wednesday.
I am
We are.
moving Wednesday.
Yeah,
and I
so
think
that might not work, Commissioner, because Commissioner Schuff and Jamie are going down to the conference on Wednesday. I'm gonna stay
Okay.
back and go to the hearing and then
Okay.
drive down from there, so,
Very good.
okay? Are you,
That's great.
so, and then just to go over the calendar, we do have a meeting on the 1st of December to discuss the budget. I think what we'll do is we'll just reserve the right on the 1st. If for some reason we're not comfortable with everything on the 1st, we could have a meeting on the 6th,
okay.
right?
Yep.
So that will be, if that's okay with you two.
Maybe for the month of December, we just have Tuesday meetings instead of Thursday.
Well, we might, yeah, so we'll have a meeting on the 17th next week here. Sheriff will be back, and we'll continue the budget discussion. We'll have a meeting on Tuesday, the 22nd, because of Thanksgiving. We'll be back here on Thursday, the 1st, and then we'll be back here on Tuesday, the 13th. At this point, I'd like us to agree on that, unless, and then we'll just leave the 6th. We'll fill that
Fine
in
with
if
that.
we need it.
Yep.
That's fine.
I'll make a schedule change on
Is that
the
okay with
calendar.
you?
I have a wedding out of state on the 17th, so yeah, if I could get down there a day or two early, that'd be nice.
Okay, Commissioner Kirschner, are you okay with that?
I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, so everybody, that'll be the new calendar. Come on in. Yep, you'll be up momentarily, okay? Safe though. And then finally EMS, I concur with Commissioner Kirschner. Holly Stacy said to me, she left me a real nice note in her desk when I replaced her. And we had a conversation. And she said the number one thing that you'll have to work on that'll face you in your tenure as EMS. I didn't know what she meant by that. So we've sure learned, Commissioner Kirschner, over the last couple of years what that meant. And even Ben, back in your day, I'm sure you had discussions about this. So the thing I like the most about it is all the underserved areas, all those townships and villages, 16 of them unanimously voted to join this district. And as elected officials out in all those little townships, that was difficult for them. You know, some of those meetings, it took a while for them to come together. So now, having passed this levy, the voters have spoken, I think all the electeds, not only at the commissioner level, Commissioner Kirschner, how commissioners have worked really hard, but I think out in the rural areas, those electeds really appreciate what we're doing, and they're all on board, and that's what's really exciting now. We have a lot of good momentum and positive support, so it's number one from the people, but also from the elected. So
If you-
looking forward to the next step.
If you break those numbers apart, if you look at all 16 individual districts, whether it was a township, a village,
It's amazing.
every single one of them passed it. So there wasn't, it really wasn't a huge conflict. I mean, looking at the numbers, I mean, it passed 2-1. So I mean, the voters did speak, and
Yeah, they-
Tony won't take credit for this, but I just want to give kudos to Tony, 'cause I mean, since you've taken office as commissioner, I mean, you have hundreds and hundreds of hours in this. It took a lot of tweaking and massaging just to get everybody to work together. I mean, you've got so many hours and road time and miles put into trying to unite all these different districts, and a lot of people said it couldn't be done. It's getting done.
Well, yep, we move forward. Thank you. So with that, we're back on our agenda at 10:15. We're inviting back, I believe, for the second time, maybe the third time if we count phone and so forth, Safe Built. And the county currently supports Richland County for our commercial building permit process. They come in and they're the ones that are endorsed in our county. The county is taking a look at other options. Safe Build is one of them. And so if you would come up, state your name, and you have the floor, because I can't pick your name, but I know you.
My name is Bob Kurtz.
Okay, well,
I am the building official, certified building official for the state of Ohio, and I work for Safe Built.
there you go.
And we are here to answer any questions you may have. We took over Sandusky County approximately 2 years ago. We're going to Huron County the first of the year. And I know Huron County was Richland County. They had Richland County for their building code enforcement for commercial, and they weren't satisfied with the level of service that they were getting. So that's why they switched and came with a Safe Built. And so that's, I believe, where we're at here. And so I can answer any questions you may have.
Hey, President Paradiso, I know we have a few people here in the crowd today that I know they want to speak. I know Dave has to get going here soon, but I know he's going through the process right now. He has multiple businesses here in Seneca County, and I think he wanted to kind of come up and give
You're
his
good, you
two
can
cents.
just
if
speak
that's
from your
okay.
seat, just say
Oh,
your
sure.
name, please, and
Dave
then you're
Spurgeon.
fine right there. Thank you.
I'm Dave Spurgeon, and I'm opening up the Deli Cafe at Frost Village, which is Dawn Iantuna's old building behind Brown's. Dawn, I'll be brief. Dawn really updated that building when she purchased it. It was a love of her life. We submitted our plans through a certified architect to Richland County. They're supposed to, in my understanding, take 4 weeks. It took 6 weeks to get them back. They had 32 different changes on there. Now, you hire an architect that knows what they're doing to meet those challenges of what Richland will be looking for. So the architect did some of the changes, and they kicked it back and said you have to have booth seating throughout the building. Now, if you've ever been in there, it's a big square like this. And the reason was fire egress. There's a patio door in the front and a clear marked door out the back. Moving chairs and tables makes more sense than moving fixed booth seating. Plus, it detracts from the look we're trying to achieve for a New York style deli. My other concern is when we built the Renaissance, I had an inspector come in and do something I think is very unprofessional from Richland. As he was inspecting the building, he looked at one of the girls that was staining the walls and he said, "Are you going to be working here?" She said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, you're not going to make much money if you dress like that." That's completely unprofessional. And I don't understand, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I feel like they've got us handcuffed in a lot of ways that we shouldn't be handcuffed. That building shouldn't have required all those changes because it was already upgraded as a commercial business. And the reason it's not open today is the booth seating issue solely. And that could increase my cost $20,000 to $30,000. The other interesting thing to me is, if you go to Rosie's Restaurant, we're all familiar with that? They clearly have a sign in there that says 51 person capacity. I'm only allowed to have 48 in that big building. It doesn't make any sense. It just, I don't, again, I'm not complaining, but nobody really explains to you. They don't. I talked to the fire chief, I talked to Bill Thornton, and they think the booth thing is ridiculous for fire egress, especially in that building, and we're not sure where to turn to get help, so.
And your architects doesn't think you need booths?
Nope.
Based on the state code. So there's a code that you have to design the building to, and then there's the inspection
Yes,
process.
yes.
That in the inspection process, if it's delayed or it's overruled or it's unreasonable and it caused delays, that's where the inspector part comes in, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So.
And it makes sense that when you build the bathroom walls, they gotta come in and check that out, make sure they're right, and the plumbing's right, and the electric's right. Fire egress is a big deal, but in a square building, it has no obstructions.
Bob, any comment from you on that one? Or you just want to?
Well, the first thing I would say is that I'm not aware of any code that says that you have to have booths. It's just not in the code. I don't want to speak for what type of review Richland
Yeah, I
County
wouldn't
did
want to
because
do
I
that.
never saw the plans. There are certain code requirements as far as number of egress for your occupant load, so possibly that's why they're saying you have to stay at 49, is because you don't have enough egress doors. Again, I haven't seen the plan, so I can't
Sure,
speak on
sure.
that. What I can say is that with Safe Built and the way I run my building departments, you will not get anything like that. My inspectors go in, they will do an inspection. If whatever they see that's not in compliance with the approved drawings, they will let you know or let the contractor know. And you have the opportunity to correct it. We come back, do an inspection. We don't come back a second inspection and find more things and continue to do that, because that's one of the complaints that I've heard.
That's all the time with them.
Yeah,
All the time.
we don't, unless it's a serious hazard, because we're all human, inspectors miss things. And so if we come back and do a second inspection and we find something that's really serious, we're gonna come to you and say, hey, I just noticed this, I didn't notice it before, my apologies, but we need to do something with this. That's how we would handle a situation like that. As far as plan reviews go, we guarantee plan reviews in 10 days. You will have a response within 10 days. And then typically, unless there are some technical or structural issues that I need to send it back to the plans examiner for, most of the time it's just, okay, you need to address this, this, and this.
Sure.
The architect sends me the response, I can look at it and say, yep, he's addressed this, we're good, issue the approval.
And Wood County does that when it comes to the electrical. That's exactly how they handle it, But Richland, they'll come back in on a second inspection
Yeah.
and tell you something different. I know that Danny Perry has ran into that with Big Mike's, and Optometry now no longer says opening in 2022, it says opening sometime. Because of that very same reason. And really what they're doing is they're causing people who want to go into small business to look at this and go, I don't want to deal with this, or the costs are too great. $20,000 to $30,000 in booth seating that's fixed is a pretty big deal to a small business.
Right.
Especially when we've had $40,000 worth of deli equipment sitting on the ground since June that we can't move into the building yet. I'm just one example, so. But I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of folks in town that are dealing with these Richland, because everybody you talk to says.
I'm just gonna make a comment too,
Terrible.
with the Laird Arcade, it's been there for almost 10 years. There was nothing in there when I started out. I mean, I've seen this case, there's 30 businesses in there now, plus I've seen Frozone, JT's Bagels, I mean, I can list off 30 businesses where they could have been open in 3 to 6 months, and it's taken 2.5 years. We're holding up progress, we're holding up these small businesses from opening. I mean, it's a problem. We gotta do something.
But if we went, he's holding already, guys.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in. Mr. Manal, would you like to say anything? You sit right there, and thanks for coming over, by the way.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks,
I would
Yes,
echo
you did.
Dave's comments. In Fostoria, we're dealing with Wood County versus Richland, and same challenges. I'm told that dealing with Richland is a little more difficult than Wood, but I'm glad to say that as of last week, I finally got my permit for the lofts I've been working on downtown Fostoria. It took me 12 months to get my permit because every time they do a re-review, it would go to the bottom of the pile, and they had 30 days to review it. And so I've been paying, interest and carrying costs for a year on a project before the contractors could get started, because I had all my financing and everything lined up already. And, I echo Dave's comments. I mean, for small business, it's very difficult. The coffee shop was delayed by over a year in Fostoria. The relocation of the pizza place from downtown to County Line was delayed for over a year, and we need to bring some professionalism in, and a 10-day turnaround time is is very reasonable, and you know, I've talked to a number of architects that have worked in Toledo and in Sandusky County and
With Safe Build.
with Safe Build and have, you know, very positive feedback. So, you know, I'd love to see Fostoria come along and move, you know, their Wood County services over to Seneca County and bring that, you know, building department back home and, you know, work with professionals and streamline that process. And frankly, I think it's gonna help, you know, Chamber and Economic Development because, you know, right now there's a stagnation in growth in small businesses because the amount of time and the cost of getting them stood up and getting permits.
Okay, thank you for coming over. So the process, I believe, we have the county and the cities and then the villages all act independently.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But we're hearing the same sentiment from everyone. So as this progresses, then there'll be discussions with Fostoria and Tiffin. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it would
Safe
all
to join.
kind of come together. Any other comments? Commissioner Kirschner, anything from you, please? You've been involved in this as well from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad that we finally have some folks here to talk about our alternatives. I know that we've talked directly with Sandusky County about the procedures that we would use. The only thing that I would say is I'd certainly like to have some office space in Tiffin. And I know somebody can't be there full time, I get that. But I'd like to have some office space that somebody would occupy at least on a part-time basis. So people can make appointments and look the guy in the eye or lady in the eye and talk about their concerns.
When you're back live next week, we can have that discussion, but the path we're going on is we were asked to pay rent. This is the Seneca County Board's position. We were asked to pay rent, and I think in Fremont or
Yeah, there
in
was
that area
discussion on
for
that
more
agreement.
space. To exactly what he said, we have county buildings and offices. We would provide an office for no rent or cost to the citizens and to you, that you could come in and use, have a lock or a door.
Yeah.
And, but it would be here. We don't want to pay rent, but we would like to offer an office.
Correct.
I think that's a fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we had that discussion.
Right.
And we're just kind of working through that in the fine print, right?
Yeah, and-
You're negotiating.
And also the cost, the software, it's correct, it's the software cost.
Correct, community
It was 50,000, I think, originally, and then they offered it to, I think it's around 29,000 right now.
Right, because we had so many communities in the area signing up, and that's why they could offer the discount for
Yep,
it.
so that's another thing to keep in mind, that
Can
cost there.
Do we have time next week to?
We can talk about it
what do
next
we
week
need
with
to-
Mike.
What's the next step from here?
I
in
will
your
get
view?
with them a little bit closer to see exactly what they need to provide us and our steps, and then I can have something ready for next Thursday.
Is that okay with you, Bob?
Yeah.
Ward, was that good? And with the annexation agreement and everything in Fostoria, and I know Commissioner Kirschner feels this, we all feel this. Ben, you did when you sat here. We gotta take this bureaucracy out of doing business in our county. I mean, all we wanna do, we welcome people to come here. We just wanna make life easy for them. And that's what TSEP and this is what we have to do.
Right.
I mean, we
I
have to.
want to see us be as business friendly as possible.
We've got to get that annexation thing figured out, and it just can't be like this. And sometimes, some of the things you can't control, it just happen, and then you scratch your head, and then some things you just overlook. But these are things that we're talking about that we can control, I think. So,
On your software costs, is that annually,
No, that's a one time.
one time, and, great.
yeah, okay, we'll talk
Yep,
about that. Does
absolutely.
anybody else want to say anything from the floor? If not, we'll keep going. Anybody else? You good with, you want to wrap up? Yeah.
Yeah,
Please, yeah.
Dealing with the other counties, I hear the frustration that you're having. What I will say about the way we do business and the way Safe Build does business is that we're here to help you, not be a hindrance to you. We're going to help walk you through. If we need something you don't understand, we're going to help you. I'm gonna go out myself and meet with the building owner on site if they have questions because they wanna do something but they don't know what the process is. We're gonna do these things to help you. You know, you said you waited a year, and to me, that's ridiculous. Right now, I'm working with a business in Clyde who's trying to build a new building. They want to get the shell up before bad weather comes, but they don't have all the electric and the plumbing and the HVAC plans done yet. So we're doing a phased approval so that they can at least get in there and start building. And then during the winter months, they'll submit their plans for the MEPs and they can move forward. That's what it's about. It's about helping. As far as the process goes, just keep in mind that the county would do the unincorporated areas. The cities would have to have an agreement with the county to provide building department services for any of the incorporated areas. But the other thing to consider is plumbing. We do plumbing also. Now, the cities, as a building department, for a city, we can automatically do plumbing. The cities, when the cities enter an agreement, and they just need to say, and this includes plumbing also. The unincorporated areas of the county are going to fall, plumbing will fall under the County Board of Health. In Sandusky County, the Sandusky County Board of Health then signed an agreement with Safe Built to provide plumbing in the unincorporated areas. So we do plumbing in the entire county there.
Do not know that.
Right now, we're covered by Geary County,
Okay,
so
right,
it'd be
yeah,
nice, it'd be nice to have a one-stop shop.
right.
Okay, too. Okay. And you're a for-profit company.
It is a for-profit
I
company,
like
correct?
that. Therefore, we all like that. So that you have,
Drives efficiency.
you have an incentive to get out there and return our calls.
Right.
Not that, and I'm elected, not that I don't, but there's something about a for-profit business.
Yeah.
Free enterprise. So, anything else? Thanks for coming, good report, thanks for driving over. We get it, we will, I think we're getting
I'll reach out
closer.
to you.
Right, this has been one of those things, but I think we're getting where you can make a presentation
Absolutely.
to all of us next week.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, if I may.
You're good if you want.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, Ford.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks, Ford, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll leave some cards here if anybody else needs a card. Yeah. any
Thank you so
questions, let me
much.
know. Thank you, appreciate it.
Jamie, is there anybody in your old office? There we go.
Yeah, it'll probably be a decent space because then you have the Board of Health right there. I mean, anything that they would need to
Small
do.
conference room.
Kind of go hand in hand a little bit.
3 rooms, yeah.
That
They have
leads-
different options. You
That
could
leads right into
hire.
county administrator report.
Yeah, it does, yeah. We'll look into that.
Keep going, yeah. So-
But yeah, no, I mean, that office space is not because I'm over here now, so that could be a spot where we could entertain the idea for that, so.
Okay, Mr. Paradiso,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shuck can help us with this, but we ought to schedule a meeting, whichever committee is appropriate with the city of Tippett to discuss them combining with us, changing the building inspection to safe build if you can. At least have that conversation so they can bring it to full council.
Good idea, Mike.
Should we invite Fostoria too, while we're doing it?
Yes, yeah, what we probably need to do separately with whatever the committees are from councils who handle that decision. Tyler, you probably know those committees, I don't. But, so we ought to ask for an invite to those meetings prior to, as quickly as we can.
I'll reach out to the administration.
Both of them. Great suggestion to help keep things moving.
Thank you, Mike.
Bill, anything you guys, go ahead. You got a
Yeah,
thought?
just, and, you know, kind of have a collaborative effort and help maybe share some of the costs.
You like that idea?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great.
Hey, Bill.
We had
Commissioner
actually,
like Frankfurt seat.
yeah, right.
now.
As far as township wise, when we built our building, we had struggles with Richland also on that. And, yeah, so I feel the pain that, you know, businesses have also.
Okay, good.
Hey, Bill.
Yep.
I voted for you on Tuesday.
Good, thanks. Yeah, that must have been the one and only vote I got. Thanks.
Back to you.
The only thing I have is a request for compensation for the prosecution services in Tiffin Fostoria Municipal Court from the Fostoria branch for 2023. And they would like to, I believe they're paying 21,840. They would like to up that amount to 22,932. So,
Even when he's not here, his phone's still going off.
so if you
That's,
guys agree to that, I have.
That's 5%. Yeah.
For the prosecution services. It's the only thing that I have as far as my report, other than going into, we don't have
We have 9,000 citizens in Fostoria, I believe, right, Bill? Something like that, part of the county. It's a 5% increase for $1,000
It was
bucks.
11, 12.
I don't have a problem with it.
11 or 12, I thought.
Okay, I'll pass it
I'm okay
down.
with it. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll pass this down as
Help
part of
out
the,
that part of the county.
13,000 for Fostoria.
13,000, okay, yeah. Jimmy, I love when you do that.
I just Googled it really quick. I knew it was more than 9, but
Hey,
yeah.
13,000 citizens live over there.
That's a lot. I mean, it
So they have
bolsters the
this,
point, if anything.
You know, they're prosecuting to take care of that.
5,000 less than Tiffin, I mean.
It's nice.
Still significant.
Okay, so we're good with county administrator's report.
I'm done.
Any old business? Commissioner Kirsch, any old business just to float our way to talk about, or are you good?
No business, no.
Okay.
Keep on, trucking, yeah.
You good? Right into new business?
all right, we have a supplemental appropriation from general fund to leases for the treasurer's office. They received money for the lease. They're just asking it to be put back into their line for the amount of $10,783,008. We have a maintenance and repair fund, 1020, to the roads for $25,000. The maintenance and repair fund, for the 1020 fund into salaries to the engineers for $1,228,035. Ambulance service, the 2064 fund to contract repairs for $10,000. We have some squads that need some maintenance, tires and repairs. So that would be for what that is for. The BGA grant, Fund 1415 for contract services for $53,894.30. This is additional funds needed to pay the Oriana House. And then we have emergency EMA 2102 fund for the amount of $8,731.66. This is broken down in between salaries, Medicare, and PERS. So we have an appropriation adjustment for the sheriff's office. This is transferring funds from the jail salary to the road, which includes PERS and Medicare as well, for the amount of $31,120. And then as well from general fund to the Board of Elections in the amount of $88,215.38. They are returning funds to the Secretary of State. That supplies to other expenses, leases and other expenses, and software license, as well as contract services. As far as resolutions, I have a resolution amending Resolution 2022-50, which authorized the 2022 Wellness Extra incentive premium differentials for 2023 discount. We needed to correct it. It had the 2022 base rate on it, so we needed to correct that to reflect the correct rates for 2023. We have a resolution authorizing the 2023 Wellness Extra incentive premium differentials for the 2024 discount. So same resolution, amending the first one for the last year, and then moving forward for the extra points for the wellness.
So the premium went up.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, so we have to give the discount on the higher premium.
Yep.
And the discount back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is like that 3%.
Yeah, so it's the base rates for
50.
2023, the employee was 52, employee and child was 95, employee and spouse is 114, and then the family's
Used to
152.
be 50, and what's 52?
Correct.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see, yeah, okay,
So-
I get it now. And then, Yeah, but keep going, I got it. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we have a resolution authorizing the emergency management services contract with the Seneca County Local Emergency Planning Commission on behalf of the Seneca County Emergency Management Agency. We also have one authorizing contract with Lucas County Board of Commissioners for the Lucas County Coroner to perform certain necessary autopsies and toxicology reports for the calendar year of 2023.
We have to renew that every year.
We do that every year,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I remember that doing those. Yeah, same price, just curious.
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yeah, right now.
They get pretty good money for those autopsies.
Gotta change the subject.
That is all I have.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the new businesses presented.
Second, President Paradiso's motion?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes. After we voted, sorry, Commissioner Kirschner, would you like any comment on that?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, thank you.
I think Lucas County did mention in that letter that there would be a potential increase in the near future, but there wasn't one currently.
Okay, for the autopsy. You
I
know,
think they're
looking
bringing
at the
someone else in, or they had mentioned they were bringing someone else in.
budget thing.
Is there anyone else around us besides Lucas County that does autopsies? 'Cause I heard Sandusky County negotiated a cheaper contract than what we're paying per autopsy.
I'd have to look into it. I know they go to Lucas County. That number sounds familiar though, so I can look into it.
And we might need to negotiate that price, say,
Just weird talking about autopsies. Gotta admit, you know, so. Okay, so public comment, anyone from the audience want to come up? Adam, anything from you today? Good to see you. Advertiser, any comments? Shirley, good?
make sure you guys come back next week over resolution.
Ben, you good? Barb, anything? Jimmy? So, public comment outside.
Yep, I'll go ahead and open up the line, so if you're joining us via Zoom and you want to come forward and speak during public comment, you could do that now.
No, just go ahead.
Sorry.
I just want to invite everyone to the holiday tree lighting experience. So that's something the Chamber and Destination put on every year. So that's December 2nd at 5:15 p.m. in front of the Justice Center. And this will be the second year as well for the Community Project. So we'll have over 300 ornaments that are decorated by local fifth graders and local businesses that will be hung on the tree so they can come and see it. And then we'll also kick off a weekend of festivities with the Kris Kringle Market and just a really great holiday season throughout the community. So we would love if you could be there.
Commissioner Kirscher, we have your name down for the lighting of the tree.
I'll be there all lit up.
He loves
I
that.
actually had it written down to be Santa's elf, but if he prefers to light the tree, that also works.
That was fun. That's like the, you know,
Yeah.
you cringe when you plug that thing in.
Clark Griswold.
Yeah, Mike, he was here for the first one because Commissioner Kirscher was instrumental in getting the money around for the initial lights for the courthouse. Remember, where were you at, Bryce, at that time?
I think I was at
Tiffin University, maybe.
I was at TSEP at the time.
TSEP, but all private money paid for those lights. And I know Commissioner Kirscher made some phone calls and it was a big deal, and at the very last minute he couldn't go and I had to go, and right, got to go. Yeah.
Well,
it
thank
was
you
fun.
very much, Commissioner.
It was
Kirscher.
fun, but we thought of
Bigger
him as
every
we
year.
did it, so it's only appropriate that he lights them this year as he's, you know, fades into the sunset to the palm trees. So.
I spoke last year, it's gonna be one of you two this year.
I'll put a plug in for John Loxton and obviously Class Constructions. I know they do a lot
Thank you.
for that. Decorations, I know John every year is kind of having that process easier. Rich talks about the students and the businesses, so they actually decorate, and we have Seneca East, Calvert, Tiffin City Schools, and then the maintenance department puts them all on the tree for businesses and the students, which is kind of cool to see that student come back, see their order on the tree. So it really trying to drive traffic in the downtown. It brings families in, and so I just want to say thanks to them. And I know John over the years has gotten smarter. Now he has a remote control, so it's like user error is now, we're slowly removing user error and the human error aspect of it, where we have batteries and fingers to push buttons.
So I'm just thinking, we might want to have Emily from the fair come in, talk about her Christmas
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
extravaganza, because that's pretty neat.
Yep.
And,
Probably try to get it for next week, so that we
yeah,
can
that's
actually
it's
start.
4-H, and it just fits what we're doing, so. Okay, so hearing no other comment, Jimmy, we are going to go into a formal recess. It's 10:45. We will be back at 1 o'clock. And, I don't know yet, haven't got that far. And we'll be back at 1 o'clock for a sheriff budget hearing. And I will entertain a motion to go into recess.
I think I'll make a motion that we go into recess.
And I'll second that motion. If we need it, let's cover ourselves.
We don't
You could
need
just say
it.
we're in recess.
Yeah, so, yes and yes, we're now in recess. We'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Robert's